Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. We're gonna talk about the very first thing you need to do right after you buy the lures. Okay. Now, hopefully, you're watching this video before you actually go to the shop because you're gonna need it. Okay. There's some tips here that you absolutely have to know. If you're new to the channel, by the way, thank you very much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And this channel is a fishing educational channel where I teach tips and tricks to make your fishing better. I cover everything from ultralight, big game, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today we're going to talk about some of these lures are in the bigger range. Well, not so big. So there are bigger lures than this. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you exactly what my process is right after I buy the lures. Now, there's different lures here, as you can see. And then there are some lures that come with hooks, such as this one. And then some that don't come with hooks, such as this one. Now, let's start with the lures that come with hooks first. Okay. Now, fishing lure design 101. When you buy lures, whatever lure it may be, it might be designed for a function, A. B, it might be designed for a fish. This popper is designed with a fish in mind. It could be tuna. It could be big GT. And when they design something that is specific for a fish, like take for example, this one, it's made for big fish. The hardware that it comes with is actually already good for big fish. Okay, so I could fish this out of the packet. I know that it could hold a GT, and it has. It could hold a big tuna, and it has. So out of the packet, they're good. I'm gonna set those aside. Okay, and as you can see, there's quite a few. There are lures that don't come with hooks, so you need to buy hooks for them. Very first thing you actually think about is what type of fish you're expecting or what you're chasing, and then choose the hooks accordingly. If there are big fish or fish that run hard, pull drag, okay, and if you're fishing with braid, you need hooks that are rated for 4x or at least 3x. 2x, not so good, and 3x is as low as I go when it comes to bigger fish targets. And these are examples of that. I have put stout hooks on this one, and I'm chasing narrow barred Spanish mackerel or narrow barred mackerel with this. So as you can see, the hooks are actually kind of thick wired. Okay, that's that. Same thing as this. Same thing as this. As you can see, the theme there is kind of, you know, that you have a choice of either going with singles or trebles. In this case, I wanted to put singles there. Most important thing is that when you put your split rings, these don't touch. Could be close, but these don't really hook themselves. Otherwise, not gonna work for you. There are lures that come with singles, and again, the design of this is to actually catch mean, big saltwater fish. So I don't need to change them, okay? With this one, it's the same lure as that one right there. This, okay, same lure. I put barbless hooks just so it's easy to take off. Same size, everything. You know, I just took that lure, chose the hook, done deal. All right. Same with these. They already come rigged. These are designed for big fish. Got some damage right there already, some bite marks. So yeah, this thing works. Don't have to worry about them. Okay, same with these guys. All right. Now let's go with the actual lures that actually need a change. So I've changed the hooks on that already, and this one is stock. Okay, put that aside for now. Talk about that in a bit. This one is stock. All of these are stock. Okay. Now, the design of these lures, it's not for a specific fish, but for function. These are heavy lures. These are designed to be cast really far, and they're designed for big fish. So they're already rigged with relatively strong hooks, actually. Okay. So I'm not gonna worry about these again because I know for a fact that these were designed with big fish in mind. And the split rings and the hooks are already by design strong. And just a note, when you actually have lures that are by design for big fish, the hooks, the split rings, they were decided when the when the lures were designed. So these were decided, these are part of the design process, and with these hooks and split rings, they actually swim their best. And this is where you need to be careful with. Okay, now before this video, I've actually changed the split ring and the hooks of that and this. Okay, why these two lures? Now these lures were designed for a specific fish. Like this one, this was in the mind with fish like sea bass. And with the hooks and the split rings, I know that they will hold the biggest sea bass that's out there. That's fine. Okay, if I was fishing for sea bass. Now, if I'm fishing for something else, that's when the problem starts, because I don't know what the capacity is of the split ring. I don't know what the capacity is of the hook. So, especially with these two lures, and these are actually really good. The Soran Heavy Minnow and the Max Wrap Walk-in Roller are actually really good all-around lures. Okay, so for top water, this is very good, very easy to use. Soran Heavy Minnow, it's heavy, it casts a mile, swims great because of this lip, which is also, unfortunately, it's Achilles heel, but they've been working for me. So don't really have much problem with the lip. Other people do, especially when you're casting in and around rocks, and if you hit the rock, well, that's it. The lips are not designed to be cast to the rocks. It's just that's a fact. Plastic and rocks don't mix. But that's beside the point. Now, I didn't change them randomly, and that's the biggest thing there. Now, you don't see it, but I have a scale here. Okay. Now, aside from the size, okay, which is something that you need to look into. The size, I've already I think I already explained in an earlier video, but what you do is actually look at where this hook actually sits when you're retrieving. And if you could see there, okay, the hooks sit at a point where it sticks out just a tad bit to the side, and that's how I determine the correct size for the lure. Doesn't matter if it's a jig, single hook, treble hook, double hook, I size it that way. Okay, rather than just eyeballing it. Now it's the same for this one. As you can see, it sticks out a little bit, and that's the same sized hook. Now once you get the size of the hook, now I mentioned earlier that you need 3x, 4x. Okay, so check this out. This is the reason why the scale is there. So that's 1.5, 1.55 with the treble hook and the split ring. Okay, now from the kind of hooks that I have, and we have something here that's STX 58 NT. If I weighed that, okay, that's 15528, and then I put a split ring, the split ring I want to use, the weight is over, okay, as you can see there. But if I change that with another hook model, you can see that it's closer to what the stocks are. So this is what I put in here. Okay, that's what I put there, and it's actually, the hooks are kind of close between these two as far as weight and size is concerned. So I knew that I need this hook instead of this one, because this one is over, way over, whereas this is just a little bit over, and that makes that makes sure that this particular lure will swim the way it's intended to swim. I just don't randomly grab a hook and then put it there and say, okay, that's fine. To ensure that whatever hook I put on swims exactly the way it's intended, I go through this process. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how I put this on, I mean, come on, you guys know this already, but that's the most important point right there. So for these two, okay, I've put the smallest split ring that I could fit this hook on without damaging it. Also because what I want to do is to ensure that they don't snag each other. Okay, that's a very big point. So if I have a split ring that is a tad smaller, but I know that it's not going to be weak or weaker than what's there, then I put it on. Okay. Now here's the best thing here, and something that a lot of people should pay attention to. That split ring right there, I know exactly that it has a 30 kg capacity, and I know that these hooks are stouter than the stock hooks because it has a relatively thicker wire than this one, and I know that this is 3x. I don't know what this is. Okay, I don't know what this is. I also don't know the capacity of the split ring. So rather than actually wondering, I'd rather replace them, and then I would know that the hooks are 3x and the split rings would be able to handle everything. This lure swims so well, and I know that the weight of the replacement hook and split rings are just a tad heavier, if not almost the same. If you think about it, it's almost the same. There's very little difference between the replacement and the stock. Therefore, it assures me that this lure will swim the way it's supposed to swim. Okay, that's it. That's the biggest thing, guys. So when you're replacing hooks, just as a matter of practice, okay, especially when you're after bigger fish, it is very important to know everything you need to know about your lure. From the snap you're gonna use, you already know your leader length and size. The lure is a very, very important factor, of course, because this is what attracts the fish. Now, not just attract the fish, but it is also very important that you know that when you hook that fish, you hold it and ultimately land it. Now, the biggest thing for a lot of people is hooking the fish, having the hook open, or the split rings fail, and there goes your fish. Especially when the times are hard and the fish aren't really striking, you get that one hook up and then you lose it just because you didn't know a lot about your lure. Okay, so please stop that habit. Also, a note: when you are opening split rings, ensure that you have the right tools. Now, for this whole thing, I'm actually using 3. Okay, so this is what opens it. I don't use this unless it's really big. Okay, so 2. Sorry, like I said in the previous video, I don't know how to count. So I open the split rings with this, and then as soon as the hook or the holder are in, I use this to move it. Okay, so it is very important to use the right tools. Here is one of those things that I want to avoid. This is from stock. Now, if you look here, I'm gonna zoom in, you could see that there's a gap there. When there's a gap there, it weakens. Okay, and that will lead to the split ring opening. So when you buy a lure, no matter how good or big the manufacturer is, it's always a very good idea to check everything. You don't want tackle failures, especially those that you can control. All right, so yep, that's it for now. If you reach the end of this video, you seriously have to have a life. Seriously, go out there, fish, have fun and everything. Seriously, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't yet, again, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because it really helps me out and it motivates me to create more of these videos for you guys. If you're not subscribed, seriously, why aren't you? All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Guess what? I shall see you in the next one.